Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. Today I'm talking about when to say to someone that you're dating that you love them, right? When do you start saying the I love you, right? So obviously it's probably not a great idea to do this straight away unless you two have a really strong connection and perhaps they've already said it. So avoid saying this kind of thing at the beginning unless they've already said it to you. Then it's okay to reciprocate, and if obviously you feel the same way, right? So when it comes to saying I love you, I personally think this kind of thing starts being said after like the first 2 or 3 months of dating each other. You know, when you have started to see each other maybe 3 times or twice a week, you might be spending the weekends together, and then eventually it slips out of one of either your lips or her lips. You'll say I love you, or you'll say it, or he'll say I love you. You know, that's kind of like when it starts, being said. But before that, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, it should definitely not happen on the first date, unless it's really clear that you two are really, really liking each other and jiving with each other and things are going really, really super well. But even then, I think it's sometimes best to hold back. So in that kind of circumstance, wait the 2 or 3 months when, things are going really well and you're seeing each other a lot. Like, you're spending the weekend together, you may be seeing each other during the week as well, so a little bit. But if you're just dating and you're only seeing each other once a week, and let's say it's like the first 4 or 5 dates, then try not to do that kind of thing. Try to leave it to that. Like, it's best in that kind of situation to just wait for them to say that I love you first, and then you can reciprocate. And I think sometimes that's always kind of the best bet anyway. Unless you really, really, really know that they love you back, it's probably best not to say it, right? Even if you really feel it, in that moment, then you want to say I love you or something like that. I still think it's best to wait until they say it first, because therefore, you know that you're not going to get rejected. Obviously, that's the first one. You know that they're not going to get weirded out by it or freaked out by it, because obviously people fall in love at different rates. You might be super, super into them, completely 100% committed, want to be in a relationship straight away, but they might not be at that level yet, which is fine, because it doesn't mean that they're not going to get there. It just means that they're just a little bit slower than what you are when it comes to this kind of thing, which is fine, because we're all different people and life would be boring if we were all the same. So personally, it's probably best to just wait until they say it first. So that's probably like the best advice, because that's the surest way basically to know if that you're not going to say it prematurely at a wrong time. That may lead to them actually not wanting to carry on seeing you because they're worried things are moving too fast. So in that kind of way, it's good to go at their pace and just wait for them to say it first, right? And another reason why it's good to just wait, right, for them to say it first, is because then, it kind of feels really good, when someone says to you first that they love you. Because I used to do this all the time when I was younger. I would say, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'd say it really too soon as well. And it was kind of stupid of me to actually do it so soon. And I never had the opportunity to wait, for someone to say it to me first, because, that's just something that I always jump the gun on, that kind of thing. So, it's going to be amazing for you if, you don't do that and you wait for them to say it to you first, especially if you're like me and you were someone who would just say I love you straight away, or say it way too soon, or say it before they say it. So, give yourself that gift, give yourself the opportunity to actually hear it first from someone else. That's going to be really cool for you. That's going to be a really nice experience for you. So, just wait for them to say it to you first. And again, it'll probably happen when you guys are seeing each other a lot more. You're spending, like I said, you're spending the weekend together. You might be seeing each other during the week as well a little bit. But that kind of thing doesn't usually happen until after the first 2 or 3 months of dating. So you kind of need to wait a little bit. So basically how it goes is, you see each other once a week to begin with, and then when you two start getting more intimate with each other and you two really start getting along, eventually they're going to want to start seeing you more and more, and they'll probably be reaching out to you more and more. And when they reach out to you, kind of try and facilitate meeting up, whenever they do that. And then, when you start seeing each other more, that's when that soon it could be coming up to the point where they're going to say to you that, hey, I love you. Or it may just happen spontaneously. It may happen when you two are just like laying in bed together. It may happen when you're out. You know, it would just happen naturally, and that's what you want. You don't want to force it, because I feel like some people do. You know, they say I love you because they're trying to either validate their own feelings, because they want to know if this person feels the same way as they do, which is kind of a needy behavior. Or it could be the case that they say it because they're trying to rush the relationship. And obviously you don't want to rush the relationship, right? Because if you're trying to rush them to get them to commit before they're ready, then it's more likely that they're going to run away, right? So you don't want to do that. So just go at their pace and say I love you just when they've said it to you, right? So just wait, be patient, and it'll work out, right? So don't sweat it, don't worry about it. It will happen, right? And it could be the case that it doesn't happen and they don't say I love you because they're too stubborn, or they're just someone who with a bad attitude. Saying I love you should be a spontaneous, very loving moment. And if they are fighting against their emotions and they're not comfortable with saying I love you, but you are, and you're someone who's super affectionate, then, you know, you need to kind of consider, like, do I really want to be with someone who's not that affectionate, that is kind of withholding their love from me? Like, come on, like, you don't want to be with someone like that. So, you know, if it hasn't happened for, like, let's say you two are in a relationship and they're still not saying I love you, then, basically what I mean by you're in a relationship is you've probably been together for like about 5 months, and you're seeing each other all the time, and you've met each other's parents, you've met each other's friends, you've double dated a couple of times maybe, and it's clear that you're in a relationship, it's Facebook official, and you're kind of still waiting for them to say I love you, but they're not saying it, and they're kind of really stubborn about their affection, then, you know, you probably might want to bring it up, maybe. But personally, I think if you're someone who is affectionate and you want to hear the I love you, but you're with someone who never want to say I love you, then, you know, you kind of need to be like, I probably need to escape this, okay? You want to find a relationship that you're happy with. And if you're affectionate and you want affection and you want someone to articulate how they're feeling about you and say I love you, then, you know, you need to find that and kind of ditch the other people that are not, you know, who are not showing you the affection that you want and you deserve in your life. Now, like I said, it's true that people go at different paces, but if it's been 6 months and you're seeing each other all the time, and it's clear that you two are in a relationship and they still haven't said I love you, then, you know, I mean, you can try and say it to them at that point if you want to and see if they say it back. But it might be the case that they're just not very affectionate and they just don't want to say it, or they might be just trying to hide in like this steel cage, you know, keep their heart locked, you know. And obviously you don't want to be with someone like that if you're someone who does want affection. So that's my advice on when to say I love you. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like help with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.